What's up, everyone? Welcome to RagnaRock TV, the best damn new music review show on YouTube, on the internet. I don't know who we're gonna go
On
with
the
there.
whole goddamn interwebs.
I say we try and hit this shit with confidence, though, and
That's right.
have some fun while we're doing it, though. Right off the bat, there I see Dags, Hooley, Donkey Kongington. Cheers, brother. Heart and Soul Home Grow. Great to see
Cheers,
everybody
dudes.
rocking with us. Fluff, great to see
Cheers,
you, my
Fluff.
man. So.
Hell yeah.
I guess let's start with the mission statement. What the heck are we doing here? Basically, we like music. We love music, heavy metal more specifically, and so we want to talk and do musics and videos and stuff. And I think basically when we have no lives, we can't find anything better to be doing. We sit there and we YouTube. And there's a lot of people on YouTube that do music reviews where they're playing song videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, God, that looks like fun. Why can't we do that?
Hell yeah.
And I mentioned that I want to do that. And Colton's like, well, I want to do that too. And here we are. So
yeah, I've found a lot of good new music through the review shows. So I think this will give us an opportunity to share some of that kick-ass music that we found with everybody else.
I think that's one of the other things though is we're going to find so much more. Like we want your suggestions on this stuff too, because we're right now we're kind of going to bring out our best of 2023. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff that's new to me that Colton's about to show off, and vice versa, new to him. And it won't take too long before we're just like, shit, what do we do now? So like if there's like bands that you guys want to hear us talk about, bring it. Let us know. And if we want that participation. Our live chats have always rocked and just been ripping with the participation. And so, like, what music do you guys want to hear us talk about? Because it'll be just death metal, period, if you let me run this shit. So you might want to help steer the ship.
Yeah, send us some of your favorite music videos and music that you've been influenced by over, any period of time in your life. And we will check it out and show everybody else too.
Review the heck out of some Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba.
It's probably the one we don't need to do. Everybody already knows that one.
Dude, you can see like the live chat in like just like the karaoke of like people writing up line for line for line. It'd be amazing.
There's an idea. Maybe we'll do a karaoke night somewhere down the line.
That'd be bad.
That'd be interesting.
Anyone that's ever seen our other shows, you don't want to hear me singing. It gets bad. So a couple of tomcats caught in a bag with their tails tied together. Don't need that. All right, so should we just like get into it, or do we kill?
Yeah.
Here? Okay. This is
no further ado. I guess let's get into our number 3 picks each.
Dude, I'm actually kind of nervous about this one. I got notes and shit and everything, but hey, we've never done this before. So my first album for 2023 is a new band to me. When I was thinking about this about a month before the year ended, I was like, damn, I can't think of any new albums that have come out this year that really excited me, which is very weird. There's usually at least one or two. The year before was Megadeth and then City Cash, Fluff's Brothers band. I fucking love those albums. And, and they were clear winners, like very fucking like, yes, this is different. This is new. This is amazing. And nothing like that was sticking up. So I was like, well, like Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, and Suffocation have all released albums this year. Do I just kind of give them the gimmies because I like that music? Those are 3 albums I like. There's nothing super impressive about any of those bands. So you like Cannibal Corpse don't release an album, you know what you're going to get. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be fair and harsh. It's going to be fast. Yeah. But it's going to be Cannibal Corpse. It's, it is what it is sort of thing. Nothing jaw-dropping. And then kind of right at the end of the year there, this band, well, I don't know how they released an EP, which I checked out. And then I'd heard on some music review station or YouTube channel that they'd actually released a full-length album earlier in the year. And they're kind of just fulfilling their obligations for their record contract or whatever like that. And so Orbit Culture is the band. Now, right off the bat, they got the kind of name that I would probably pass on. Orbit Culture kind of sounds almost like dancey to me, right? And so wouldn't would probably just like kind of pass on them. But you hear people talking about them and you hear them talking heavy. I'm just like, okay, let's give it a go. And this is something new. This is something different. Starting off with the first song, Descending. It's like kind of that eerie fucking kind of, what do they call it, for ambiance kind of music where they let's make some up ramping noises and shit like that. In my opinion, you could kind of just skip it. It's get to the point. Lots of albums have those, and it's kind of, for me, it's the same thing. After you listen to it the first time, you just skip it to get to the next song. So you might as well just do that one here. But, you know, it's not like it's a horrible thing. You're not like you're dying to listen to it. And you get to the next song called Black Mountain, and the riffs just start here. And you're just like, wow, I like what I'm hearing here. And then the drums, and you're like, wow, again. The drums are kind of the repeating thing for me with this band. They're just their drummer. I don't know the names. I was lazy on this one. I could have researched band members, so I'd be, oh, the drummer, blah blah. Their drummer is freaking phenomenal. Just absolutely loving it. It's got some cuts. It's pretty catchy, and then their singer almost has like a Jens Kidman from Meshuggah vibe to him when he's doing the growling and the screams.
Okay. Yeah,
maybe a little bit more melody to it, which I like. When you're giving me screams with a bit of a flow to it, yeah, I dig that shit. Yeah, I've had that new Meshuggah album, and it's just sounds like metal. It's not bad, but it didn't stick out to me in any way, shape, or form. And then getting down into the second song or third song there, though, it's got some real crunchy riffs to it. There, it's the Sorrower, it's called. Real catchy there, and more great drum work to it. And then they get more into the singing, which to me sounds like when they sing, it's like a Bullet for My Valentine kind of thing, where they got their heavy, they got their growls, but then they got a lot of melody in there too. And their melody and their singing in here, it doesn't really do much for me. I'll be honest. I like these guys for the heavy. I'm like, shit, guys, go with it, do your thing. But we're still got some good tunes. We're going.
Yeah.
Song 4 from the inside. They slow it down ever so slightly, but they got, like, once again, getting back to the drums, really cool fucking driving drums and some riffs. And a real cool thing where it almost sounds like they got the toggle switch going on the guitar with that sounds where you can do that going on. So you're listening to that, you're like, fuck yeah, that's pretty badass. And then the next song, it's the Vultures of the North. This is where kind of I'll play clips from this or the video from this when we're done. This is where it all just gets straight to the heavy, and you're just like, wow, this is, this is my jam. It's got the riffs, it's got the growls, it's got the fucking fast ass drums. You're like, I can like consider coming out of mosh pit retirement if I were to ever see these guys. Which is a side note, I just about did get to see them playing Tuesday. They're going to be down in Vancouver, but I got to go to Bella Coola Monday. So Brad to see that one real close. Then you get into the next song, Alienated. This is a fun song. It drives, it pounds, it pummels. It's got the clean vocals, but by now I'm actually starting to get into the clean vocals of this singer. It's more of, I think when you place them in the right spot, they do well. And now I'm starting to come around to the clean vocals on this album, and they're starting to do a little bit better. We get into the next song, Isle of Fire. This is another song that's got some heavy and it's got some clean vocals. And in the chorus, Isle of Fire, it's like, yeah, okay, damn, I'm getting into the clean stuff. I am digging it. And still, we just got these insane drums and guitars to go, and I'm just like, hot shit. Like, I am digging this album. Undercity, it's the song's got Grooves for Days on it. And it'll have you head banging. It's one of those songs, if you're driving down the street, you're doing that before you even realize it, man. It just goes. And this is like 3 songs in a row at this point where they've got clean vocals, and I am still digging the clean vocals. Hot shit, right? And then we ended up with The Descent, which is, I got a few eerie, strange sounds, and we get straight to the soul-crushing metal. I love it. It's just straightforward, brutal stuff. And then you get through the last song on it is Through Time. It's spacey. It's atmospheric. Honestly, it's not for me. It's just kind of, like I said, I'm more of a meat and potatoes metal. Get to the point. I don't need the atmosphere and all that. And
There always seems to be one of those on every album.
Dude, it's yeah. And you see it more and more with modern metal. Everyone wants to bring the symphony orchestra stuff in there, and
Yeah.
I get it. And it's for me, it's not my thing. You know, I'm not trying to slam it or anything like that. To each their own. Got no issues with it. I just if I'm writing an album, I'm not putting that on there.
Yeah, and if they do, they gotta you gotta, like you said, use it minimal and fucking hit it right. It's got to be in the right spot and used the right way, or it doesn't have the effect that you said. Then it just becomes too much.
Yeah. So now I guess this is the part where we get to the video part and we play it. So this is one of those things where we've never done this before and we're trying not to get our wrist slapped. So we might stop it once or twice throughout just because that's what everyone else seems to do when they're reviewing videos. I'd be pretty bitching if we get to the point where we can just play them straight through and then chat about them afterwards, kind of thing. But just for the sake of, because we're learning, we don't know what's going on. So this is Orbit Culture. This is the song Vultures of North off the album Descending, which is my number 3 album of the year 2023. So let's get to it. See, right there, before the vocals even start, like my attention is like, hey, you got me. You got
you got me.
You got the riffing, you got the drums, and you almost know what's coming with the vocals before they even get there. You know it's going to be crushing.
Yeah, you can feel that build up.
It's going to be good. Yeah. So let's see. Let's find out what's next. What's behind door number 2?
You feel it in the battle with the mouth down. You would never know what blows on me. Now you got the desire, not such a monstrous of not become. Bring to the hollow need to satisfy our mouth like the idea. You see what I meant by the word and with him, without, with our man. See the blood, the underdog, the underdog. We're on the underdog. See the blood, the underdog, the underdog. We're on the underdog. We're on the underdog. We're on the
I like that echoing off. That's cool.
Here he kind of has that Jens Kidman from Meshuggah kind of raw sound to him, but he's got flow to it and it's good. And the drums are just, fuck me, man, they're on point. I'm digging these guys. I think
that double
they're
bass is fucking.
It's different than anything I've been hearing recently.
That last verse was sweet. That last verse was wicked. You're muted.
So of course you got to be muted. That's some bringing the heavy. You know, like I said, it's got some flow. It's catchy. In my opinion, it's not even the best song on the album. I would have played maybe even Alienated or Black Mountain, but that was the one that I found the video for, and trying to make it a little bit more interesting. But like I said, also I was kind of first couple of songs like, oh, what's with the clean vocals, and then for that song they got away from it altogether. It was just like, let's do it. So check that album out, the Descent. I found it on YouTube, Spotify. It's there. The link is in the description below. We're making sure we try and throw all that stuff up because, well, once again, we're trying not to get a wrist slap. We don't really know the rules of the game we're playing yet. So
no, we're going to find out, though.
Yeah.
So also just to mention, we are blind reacting to each other's videos. So I don't know what videos Caribou's got, and he doesn't know what I've got. So just to keep things a little bit more interesting. I really like those guys. Like you mentioned their name to me earlier when we were starting to talk about this show, and I have them. Like I have this note. I've got Orbit Culture written right here in the middle of my notes, and I'm like, been so tempted to look, but I'm like, nope. He said that's the fucking one, so I can't look at it. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go add them now because I really like that.
I purposely haven't checked them out beyond that album and the EP that I'd heard before that album because of knowing that we were putting this show together. And I'm like, well, damn, if Colton likes that stuff, then like, let's deep dive, see what else, because they've been around for quite a while. So, yeah. There's got a bit of stuff that we can go back into and check it out and just have some fun.
Sweet. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, DK. Kind of like Beavis and Butthead up here.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Hey, I love Beavis and Butthead for a long time. So I'll jump in and get my number 3, which is, it's kind of funny. This is going to be almost a stark contrast between the heavier melodic stuff. The band I've got here for my number 3 album this year is Enter Shikari, and they are a British, it says here, Enter Shikari is an eclectic UK rock outfit that incorporates elements of post-hardcore, alternative rock, pop, electronicore. Is that how you say it? Also, what's the other one? Synth metal is another one. They've been dubbed as synth metal. So they started back in 1999 as a different band called Hybrid, and they were just a bassist, keyboardist, and the drums and vocal back then. And then in 2003, they added a guitarist and became Enter Shikari. They have looked, when I was looking up some of their stuff, they have been nominated and won. I think they've been nominated for the best British live band like 7 times, and they've won 5. So they're on my list of bands that I definitely need to see live. I've watched some of their live performances and stuff, and it's all, honestly, it's all due to their singer, their frontman. His name is Rue Reynolds, and he has just got so much fucking energy. It's like watching. Oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble for blanking this one out. The AC/DC fucking frontman,
Brian Johnson.
Is that who it is? That fucking scoots across stage in the shorts and shit.
Oh, that's Angus Young, the guitar
Angus
player.
Young, that's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah. Like it's like watching him fucking running back and forth across the stage and shit like that. Like he's just got so much energy and enthusiasm that it wouldn't, like, there's no way it couldn't be a great show. So their album they put out this year is called A Kiss for the Whole World. And this is their first album they've done since like pre-COVID. And it was interesting to read some of this stuff because they actually, like, basically during COVID, like UK was hit hard with restrictions and shit, right? So he was basically like on his own, doing his own thing. He said that in his mind, Enter Shikari wasn't even a thing. He just got so involved in just surviving and being a normal person. And that's what this album actually, I guess, kind of turned into or became about. So before this, some of their older albums, they're very politically outspoken in their lyrics. And it was actually cool to read. Where did he say it? They were interviewed by a magazine in the UK where it says, okay, so with Shikari, a rare and political voice of the UK rock scene, Rue remains baffled by bands labeling themselves as punk that aren't speaking about anything of importance. So like they're like bringing back some of that true punk vibe, right? Where they're actually speaking out about their government and about their situation and about changing things and all that kind of shit. So pretty cool to see them incorporate that, bringing back some of that real punk hardcore vibe in the UK. So I had a couple cool notes about this album. This is their 7th full-length album, and it was entirely recorded using solar power in an old rundown farmhouse.
That's funky.
Yeah, right. I thought that's
true believers, cool. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see if I got anything else for this one. I think that's it. I think I'll just play the song and then we can chat about it. So they're like, I guess techno. I like the synth metal description. It's almost not quite techno, but yeah, it's poppy and it's fast and it's catchy and I like it. And like you, it's also like I was kind of running down to, well, I don't have very many albums that came out this year. So these guys put this out and yeah, I've been listening to it for a bit. It's a good catchy one. Let me just get the screen share up. So this, that's what I was going to say with their, so some of their lyrics being more political. This album, after, spending 2 years basically in isolation, this album is a lot more about like self discovery and like figuring out that, it's okay to just be who you are, and stuff like that. So it was cool to see them kind of go a little bit away from some of their more political thing and like get a little bit more personal. But they still have a bunch of songs on there that keep to their original views here. If I do, okay, there we go.
Here we go, guys. 5 minutes. Let's roll camera. Thank you very much. Camera set. And 3, 2, 1, action.
Please set me on fire.
So they're a little bit quirky, and he likes to dance too. Just a little preface.
Just having fun.
Waiting for your signal, waiting for a song. Looking upward, away from the divine. Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Reaffirm yourself, be my fire lily on the blackened ground. In the city, on a quiet night, you can hear us, set ourselves alight. Oh, let me transcend, be a flicker in your eyes. Wait for the spark, I'm no good at goodbye. I wanna be ash in the atmosphere. Set me on fire, set me on fire. Can you strike a match, make me disappear? Set me on fire, set me on fire. I'm sick of being broken, I'm sick of being broke.
So I really like where he does like he goes from almost like the talking kind of like shouting at you into like that anthemic, like, you know, kind of almost dance rock.
It's catchy. Hey,
Yeah,
the boys
yeah.
got moves for days.
Right.
I'm a quarry, decided on this step. Won't you turn down? Won't you unclever, say your mind? Be my excavator, and tell me what you find.
In the city, on a quiet night, you can hear us set ourselves alight. Oh, let me transcend and be a flicker in your eyes. Wait for the spark.
Please set me on fire. Please set me on shimmy atmosphere. Set me on fire, set me on fire. Can you strike a match, make me disappear? Set me on fire, set me on fire. Set me on fire. Shimmy atmosphere. Set me on fire, set me on fire. Set me on strike a match, make me disappear. Set me on fire, set me on fire.
Dude, that's cool. I get the feeling he's the kind of person that he'll sing to anything. Like you get it making noise to some kind of reasonable rhythm, and he'll put his voice to it, which is very, very cool. You know, it's not just electronic, it's not just a guitar. It's like, you know, what do you got? Let's make music. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, like they're a huge live band, live performance band, and you can see, like, you know, you would just enjoy watching him run around like that for a set.
But you see how quick his legs are moving, right? And his torso will kind of basically standing still. You're like, oh yeah, no, he works on this. That's where even kind of learning that like, even if the music isn't your kind of music per se, or you can go check it out, like background dancers and stuff like that, they'll put on a good show for you, right? That's what they're there for, spectacle. Like but that guy where he's actually playing some good stuff, that'd be interesting. See him, especially like when he's running around back and forth, like you're saying. Can you keep your wind and friggin' still do that? You know? That's great stuff. I like it. I guess it's on to my list now. I'm wondering. I was gonna try something different, but then I just realized that wasn't immediately not going to work here. So. Okay, let me get to. Let's figure it out a second. Add that. No. Okay. I had all my stuff all ready to go, and then you know how it is. And lose it here. Okay. I'll try that.
Yeah, Jay, actually, I found I found Enter Shikari about the same time that I was listening to a lot of Alexis on Fire, and some other kind of post-hardcore bands as well.
That's okay. I think I've got it figured out. Wait, look at that. So that's the screen we want right there. So my number 2 album of the year is Prong State of Emergency. And so this is a band that I've been listening to for like about 30 years at this point, somewhere around there, before they even released Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck, which is kind of the one song that most people would know them for. There's if you go back on our early episodes, we were doing a show called the Headbongers Bowl. And in one of I think we did 9 episodes. And in one of those episodes, like episode 2 or 3 or something like that, maybe 1, I did a a list of like who's your dream band. If you could put take any singer, guitar player, all that together, or put them together to make your dream band. And Tommy Victor of Prong was one of the guitar players that I would have picked for that band. Just they've got that crunch. So going into this band, like, you know, damn near 40 years late that they've been at it, and they still just got that crunch to it. So the album starts off with The Descent, which is kind of, you know, it sounds like Prong. It's got just the super fast crunchiness to it. It also has a little bit of like kind of Slayer sounding, kind of like wheedly type sounds in there. You're like, hey, it sounds like something you might hear on Slayer album anyways. And then the second song, State of Emergency here, friggin', that's where you get back to that really truly classic Prong crunch. And anybody that's been around Prong for a long time probably knows exactly what I mean. And this song just kills. You get to the song Breaking Point, where it actually has just more great shit, but it has like almost a Zach Wild style, that wah, wah kind of thing that you always hear of him doing. And it, you know, another really cool vibe to it. Non-Existence. This song here is where he gets into that Tommy Victor, or Tommy Prong, as some people like to call him. He's got in that sing-songiness to it, and when this dude sings, to me, it just he can get like really, I don't know if anthemic is the word I'm looking for, but this is like what he'll get me singing. I guess we'll put it that way. And I was actually thinking about trying to play clips off of some of this stuff. That's why I'm on this screen here. But you know, that didn't work out that way. Clicking on down here, Light Turns Black. It's like more just super crunchy awesomeness from there. The song 6, Who Told Me, like kind of more generic Prong, but like a generic Prong is still better than, I would say, like 80% of the bands out there. So that's not a bad thing. When I say that, with Prong, you know what to expect, and they pretty well deliver every time. Now, song 7, Obeisance, I can't pronounce that. This song to me has like the freaking jams. Like, this is the riff for me. The lyrics of the singing isn't so much on there, but this riff sounds like something that you could find on any kind of death metal, and it's almost like the song starts with the breakdown, and it's just fucking heavy.
Oh, crazy.
It's just heavy. So that's like I think my favorite on there. You got Disconnected. We were switch gears back to a little bit more singy song stuff, but it's, once again, I like Tommy's singing stuff. Then down to Compliant, which we go with more melodic singing, riffing and all great stuff. Back to NYC. Dude, he wants to go home, and he ain't gentle about letting you know that he wants to go back home, I guess is the way to put it. It's just getting more to that awesome Prong brutality. And then they close it up with a really cool cover of Working Man by Rush. It's kind of more slowed down, almost has more of a stoner vibe to it. You know, when I get up at 7, yeah, go to work. You know, it's in just the way the guitars. It's just it's cool. It's not, you would have expected them to speed that song up and turn it into just a riffy, crunchy riff fest. Yeah. And they didn't. But it is, at the same time, you know. To me, and it's funny because when you and I first started talking about doing this show, I would have actually put the Prong album at the number 3 on my list, and the Orbit Culture at number 2. But I think just because Prong is so familiar, you can sing their lyrics right along with them, and it's just so much fun. I think I got to actually give Prong the number 2, which is cool. I'm more than happy to do it. Like I said, it's not too many bands that we've been listening to for 30 plus years that'll release an album that will still get thrown up in like my top 5, unless it was like a down year for music where you're just looking for an excuse to make it your number 1 album kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I can put this in number 2 with a smile on my face. And I think we're going to try and play that song, Obeisance. You know what? They don't even have a video for that. So no, let's go with where's the Hold on, guys. I'll figure it out. No, I won't. No, I won't. I think the Descent is the one that they had the there we go. Okay, so I'll play the Descent just so there's something for you guys to look at on here. Check it out. So like just heavy, fast, right off the bat. It's Prong, and you know what's about to come. But to some the vocals that you might surprise you when it's not just death metal growls right off the bat.
All the lies, can't understand, can't be free, out of reach, forgot to say, forgot to know, forgot to see, forgot to know.
See that right there? That needle. I am positive I've heard that on Slayer songs before. And
yeah, it sounds reminiscent of Slayer.
Yeah, but it makes me more than happy to hear it right here. Like I said, they just that crunchy chugging. I love it.
Start up the descent. Only the beginning of the end. Forgot to say, forgot to know, forgot to see, forgot to know. Why did I cannot remain? Can't be seen, out of range. Only the beginning. Start of the descent. Only the beginning. Beginning of the end. Of the
Prong does some of my favorite breakdowns too. When you go through some of their music, they just, for a lot of their stuff, they don't even need the vocals. Just get down to it. It's like, oh, good shit, man.
That's sick. That was sick.
Forgot to say, forgot to know, forgot to see, forgot to know. Only the beginning. Only the beginning. Only the beginning.
All right, now since I see the song I was gonna play here, I'll show just the riff that I wanted to show you guys. Like, this is just disgustingly heavy. There it goes. Right there. Like, yeah, that's like look the F out there if I don't come
Yeah.
near me in the mosh pit. I'll come out of retirement just so I can put myself in the hospital type shit, because that's about all it would take is some like tiny little punk come up behind me or freaking barely even hit me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm crippled for days.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like their music was heavier than the vocal. Like it almost deserved a harsher vocal.
It's funny because I thought you was my original beef with them.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I'd ever heard of them, I was on my parents sent me down to Surrey on a Greyhound bus, and I missed my connector on the way back. So I was stuck in Chilliwack, BC, and you meet people at the bus station, right? As you're stuck there for 12 hours or whatever it was. And this guy was like, we're talking music. He's like, you like some good riffs? Like, go check out Prong. And I was like, okay. And it was shortly after that I found their album, Rude Awakening, in a pawn shop, and it's like the song Man's Ruin, which just had some insanely fast guitar work on it. I didn't like it because it was too melodic, too much singing, and this was at the time where I was into like Korn and stuff like that, where I preferred the deeper. I think I was into Korn, but hadn't yet discovered Cannibal Corpse, right? So it's where's the growling and the screaming and the stuff like that. It wasn't until I go like a few years later where you put that album on again and you're just like, you know what, this is way better than I gave credit for.
Yeah. I've had a few of those that I've had to. I came back and appreciated them more later on.
I see Ministries getting brought up there, man. They're playing at the Commodore this month, I think it is. They might have even already played that gig. I looked into tickets and they were like $236 a piece or something like that. And I was just like, fuck no. It was like Ministry, Gary Newman, and Frontline Assembly. Like that would have been a good show, but not for that.
Yeah.
Biohazard, that would be good. They got like the original Biohazard back to. I don't know if it's actually the original, but the classic era Biohazard at least.
Sorry, I'm just getting my next one queued up. All right, so go ahead.
I saw Fluff talk about how he's diving into Clutch. They're another really cool band. Their song "Smoke Banshee" is what got me into them on like one of those satellite radio channels or cable radio, not like Sirius XM. You know, when you had cable, digital cable or whatever, and you could replay radio stations off of that. That's where I discovered Clutch, and their album. Psychic Warfare to me was just like phenomenal, like pretty well from beginning to the end. It was just like, wow, like just stellar. I would love to see them live.
So I haven't seen them either, so I just added them to my list with Orbit Culture and Prong and Clutch. What was the other one that said Ministry was the one that was brought up?
Yeah. Check out the song Thieves. That's the one that got me in there.
Nice.
Yeah, once again, guys, if there's bands and songs that you want to see us review, let us know in the live chat, but also in like the comment section below, because that's where they're more likely to get read and seen again. Live chat, you know how it is. It's freaking crazy in there. You got freaking comments freaking coming at you like crazy. And to remember them as all throughout the show is a little bit tough sometimes. But if they're in the comments below, there they are. We even get notifications of them. So Clutching Down. Damn, that would have been a great show. Speaking of Down, they're making new music right now, apparently. So that's exciting.
Nice. Maybe that will be one we can look at on a future episode. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'll get down with that.
All right, so my number 2 is a band that is definitely not new to me. It is from The Used, and they have been my favorite band since I was just a wee little lad. I grew up down like around the corner from the lead singer and their lead guitarist's parents. My sister ran with their group of friends. So I knew them before they even formally became a band. Actually, it's kind of a cool story. The first time I ever rode a skateboard was in the back of this guy's backyard, Steve Brailsford's backyard. I don't know why I remember his name. But he had a little mini ramp back there, and I was 8 years old, and my sister took me there, and they were trying to teach me how to drop in on the mini ramp. And some of the guys, at least my sister told me that some of the guys from The Used were there in the backyard while I was learning how to skateboard. So kind of a cool connection there. I've seen them live more times than I care to count. I think it's like 13 or 14 times I've seen them live. And yeah, so it's kind of funny. They have, I think 3 times now, they have released albums at like pivotal points in my life. It's like I fucking crashed the 1985 RV into a ditch, changed my life, stopped drinking, changed my life. They put out an album that was like the soundtrack to my recovery after that. They did it again, like right when my wife and I got together and had our kids. And then this one, same as before. This album came out right after our business partners with the whole farm venture up and left on us. And I was in some sort of way, which I didn't really realize, until later on. But it threw me into like a nasty little anxiety-ridden depression. And they put out this album, and I'll pull it up here. Let's get this screen share going. Okay. And that one. Okay, so let's get to the right album here. Playlists. Sorry, I had this queued up a second ago, and then I pushed the wrong button, and it went back. Of course. Okay, so anyways, you can see it's all here. They put out videos for them all right here. The first song is, so the album is called Toxic Positivity, which is, just poetic in itself. So the first song is called The Worst I've Ever Been, and it just talks about like, being in a bad headspace and that kind of shit. And it's super catchy. Like the whole album is really catchy. It's a little bit more upbeat than all of the names make it sound. So they've kind of named the albums, like, it's not the opposite of what the song is, but it's like, it's not what you think it is. Like this one is called The Worst I've Ever Been. Number 2 is I Hate Everybody, which that one actually is exactly what it sounds like. The next one is Numb. The next one is Top of the World. Dopamine. So Bert, their lead singer, used to scream, and they would have been defined as actually, I think I have a quote here that they said, in 2007, their bassist said, "We don't consider ourselves emo or screamo, and we never have. We're a rock band, and that's all we've ever been." But just last year, the lead singer said, "I used to cringe at the term emo, but now I think we've swallowed it. We are emo." So if you want to call it screamo or hardcore or whatever, that's kind of what they typically are. Bert has had, I think, his like 3rd vocal cord surgery now. So this album is a little bit softer. It's not as much screaming. but it's just one of those ones that came in the right time of my life, and it again for another moment of my life, it played soundtrack to what was going on. So the song I was gonna play doesn't have a real video. It's just the song. I can play this one, and this is a good one too. So it's interesting that like I'll just make a note. So I mentioned like our business partners with the farm up and left us at this moment, and they have like 5 songs in here that make reference to plants growing and roots and fucking. It was almost like too much coincidence for it to not
finding meaning through music. Eh?
Yeah, it was just kind of wild that lots of this came up. So I'll go ahead and play this one.
Yesterday I woke up wanting to die. Haven't seen the sunlight in some time. Seems like all the plants around me grow to the sky. But my roots are torn up, all my leaves run dry. I'm not breathing unless it's raining. Yeah, I found saving in the cracks of the pavement. And I'm done.
So a little nod to at least I take this video as a nod to Yellow Submarine. For anyone that's actually watching a lot of Submarine, and like it's in the same kind of style as the Yellow Submarine video and the Sgt. Pepper's, some of the Sgt. Pepper's stuff as well.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again already, at least once. Pick this stuff out.
We'll go back. We go back. It's only in 30 seconds in.
Yesterday I woke up wanting to die. Haven't seen the sunlight in some time. Seems like all the plants around me grow to the sky. But my roots are torn up, all my leaves run dry. I'm not breathing unless it's raining. Yeah, I found saving in the cracks of the pavement. And I'm done with the misery. Yeah, I'm done faking tragedies. Cause I'm not giving up on me. I'm not giving up on me. And from there, even if I was growing in the dark, night the moon's still close. So I'm not giving up on me. 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 Yesterday I woke up wanting to leave, learning how to stand tall, looking up to the trees. Maybe heaven has a halo waiting for me. Even fallen angels get to find their peace. I'm not breathing unless it's raining. Yeah, I found saving in the cracks of the pavement. And I'm done with the misery. Yeah, I'm done faking tragedies. Cause I'm not giving up on me. I'm not giving up on me. And from there, even if I was growing the dark, night the moon's still close. So I'm not giving up on me. 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 Not giving up on me. Not giving up on me.
So yeah, Bert actually, like I said, they were a lot harder a few years ago, like much heavier. Bert did a lot of screaming, and this album he actually made note that he had took a lot of influences from like hip hop and other stuff like that, hip hop and now I can't think. But yeah, so yeah, and you can kind of hear it in some of those kind of backing sounds in the background and stuff like that.
It's a cool song.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it was like literally when I listened to it, I was like, wow, I'm not breathing unless it's raining, which is like, you know, you're trying to start a farm, you need some fucking rain. And then I'm not giving up on me was just like, it was like our business partners left us and I didn't know what to do, but I knew after that I wasn't going to give up on what we had kind of started. So again, it's you know, deeply personal meaning, that album, just with the timing of it coming out and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why that one won my number 3 or number 2. Sorry.
That's good stuff. I can get down with that. The Used is another band that I've been well aware of, but haven't really listened to much of. So I suspect they're a band that I'll be hearing a fair bit more of. Is like this song,
Probably a little bit.
So I'm stoked for that kind of thing. I see Fried Piper making a suggestion here about Beyond Creation song called The Earthborn Evolution. Dude, if you don't mind, like Fluff was saying in the comment section below after the show, let us know about that. That way, like, I get all the notifications and I will definitely be able to search that out. It's Canadian and they're super technical.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah, we can get down with something like that because that's one of the things we're looking for is the crowd participation. There's a couple bands that Colt and I have already mentioned back and forth that we already kind of know they will get mentioned. So it's just a matter of time. So we're gonna just kind of certain bands we won't check out, or maybe a lot of new bands we won't necessarily check out until we get suggestions. Or maybe that's not a good idea because we hang out with a lot of old people that are like set in their ways of like 70s rock. And hey, I love 70s rock. Don't get me wrong. It's some great stuff. But I guess if we're trying to look for some new stuff.
Yeah. I'm bad for getting set in my ways with my music too. You know, you find something that's catchy and hits with you and it seems to just make itself into my headphones once a day.
Yeah, absolutely. So my number 1 album of the year is a band that I've been aware of for quite a few years now, but I've never bothered to check out. They're just another band with a name and without any kind of real reason. How you just don't go check out a lot of bands. And then I had saw a video clip of their singer, a lady named Cheney Crab, doing one take vocal run throughs of some of their songs. And so I was like, oh, actually, my first thought was Cheney Crab. That's a pretty cool name. So I was just like, okay, what's that about? And it was like, oh, Entheos, I've heard of them. And then you look and it's from like Metal Blade Records. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So now they've got some real credit for me. Metal Blade, if anyone doesn't know, is the band that originally put Metallica, Slayer on the map. You know, their first recordings came through Metal Blade Records. And nowadays, like bands like Cannibal Corpse, Amon Amarth, they're like kind of the powerhouse metal record label out there, if you will. So anytime I see their name on something, I'll pay attention to it. But anyways, I see what this lady's doing, and it's just like she's deep and just dark fucking vocals. And so I was like, okay, I'll go and check them out on YouTube. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised. Once again, I found these guys not even a month before the end of the year. I don't think it was. And it was going to be, like I said, probably going to be like a 3-way tie for a bunch of old school classic death metal bands that have put new music out. And those new music is great. But I get into, with Entheos, the album is called Time Will Take Us All. And actually, maybe I'll even try and do the screen share here just so I can give you guys a bit of a visual as well. StreamYard wants me to bounce back and forth, of course. So Let's get here. Okay, so here we go. So time will take us all. This album starts off with Absolute Zero. This song is just absolutely disgustingly heavy. Like this, their singer Cheney Crab. I've seen videos of her doing Hammer Smashed Face by Cannibal Corpse. So vocals are where you're not really getting much lower than that in terms of just I can't do it. I'll start coughing and stuff like that. And you're just like, holy crap. And this Holly album starts off with her just growling and then just gets into the I'm like, wow. But it's not just the vocals. In my opinion, she is the star of this band. But like their drummer is phenomenal, and their the rest of their band as well. Now, and what my understanding is that this band it's Cheney Crab is the singer, and her, I don't know if it's her husband or boyfriend or whatever, but I believe they are a couple. Naveen Copperweiss is the drummer, and they used to be a full band, and then before, at some point during COVID or around there, they kind of outed the rest of the people so that they can just to focus and do all their things. So my understanding is the drummer actually does the guitars and stuff like that on this album as well. And I just sorry for my mouth is getting dry there. It's when I try and tell people what kind of metal is this, it's like, you know, because you got your metalcore, your deathcore, blah blah blah. I hate subgenres. You know, to me, there's heavy metal, or it isn't, but then there is the few exceptions in there. Like we'll say new metal, we can classify that one easily. And I was unsure what would I even call these guys, because I wouldn't necessarily call them death metal, even though she definitely qualifies in the vocal register, in my opinion. But when you look at their videos here, I think it even hashtags there, or is it going to show the hashtag? No, it isn't. Of course, I'm going to be made a liar. Anyways, prog metal is what they hashtag the video as. All right. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's call it prog. Now I'm a prog metal fan and getting all rambly in here. I lost my notes for song to go song by song. So this is why I'm not getting into the breakdowns of it. But on the video of my favorite song on here, I Am the Void, she uses 4 different voices, at least in that song.
That's crazy.
Thing from like she sings like the voice of an angel. She could do that, and then she could do that deep, just where you're like, oh, Lisa, that's like, how is that coming out of you? It's amazing.
Yeah.
But then she also gets into that type stuff that like bands like Suicide Silence and stuff like that seem to popularize, where it is kind of growling, but it's more on the higher end of things, like that. And then there's like kind of an in-betweener in there when she gets to the choruses, where it's like almost makes me think of like that feeling where you like somebody kicked you in the stomach as a kid and you're just like, and she's like somehow singing through that. And it's just like, wow. So that to me, and this is an album that from beginning to end, there is not a bad song on there. Like you're hearing me talk about Orbit Culture. You can skip the first song and the last song, but the 9 songs, or I think it is in between there, are just like fucking get after it. It's good stuff. There's not a bad song on here to me. It's good. Awesome. It's just so we're gonna get into.
I'm excited about this one because I've become a big fan of the female metal vocalist in the last few years. I'm all about it, and I would start with like Maria Brink from In This Moment. The moment I heard her do the song Gun Show, I damn near shit my pants, and it was just like, wow. Listen to her scream, and you hear bands like Ginger. I should have a bunch more coming to mind, but I'm blanking at the moment, so it's just cool to watch. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's just get into this. Hell yeah.
right, so that's already 3 voices that we've heard her in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, she starts off with the gets in that melodic angel, and then into that what I consider like a more suicide silency type brand of vocals there, and it's about to build. Like, trust me, you're about to rip your face off. And this is the most melodic, the slowest song on the album too. I'll point that out. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's insane. Like, just, yes. Like, everything about that I just love. That line in there, you are the calm, I am the world on fire. Like, that is just such a cool line to me. Yeah, like, badass. Let's lay out. I want to hear more. See, so that to me is the voice where it almost sounds like she's like been kicked in the guts or something like that. Just, like, how do you get in there? And it's just, and then you just go from this to like just bring it on. I can feel the sun draining us all. Every day is nothing but a death to me. In my head, like a void lost in the lapse of time. You are the calm, I am the world on fire. I can feel the sun draining us all. Every day is nothing but a death to me. Wrong song. What do I got going on here? Wrong screen. What the heck? There we go. That's partially. Hey, there we go. So yeah, that's like that right there is my favorite song off that album. And that whole beginning to end is just friggin' brutal.
Yeah. I thought fucking like one of my favorites is Ginger, and I thought Tatiana can go, low and deep with her growl, but that fucking, like you were saying, that belly growl that she does, that sounds legit like a dude going real fucking,
Most dudes I know can
going deep.
you know, like a lot of them will like kind of get close down there, but they'll have that the higher register up in there.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, it goes all the way down. When you see the videos of her doing vocals and stuff, like you see her both, like their throat muscles are just like just flat straight out, and she's getting into it. It's insane.
What? Oh, they're saying they killed the show.
Oh,
It
says
still
it's
says
streaming.
it's live. You guys can't hear us? Come back, boys. Uh-oh.
Oh, stream suspended for policy violations.
Shit. Oh, we did it.
Damn.
Does it say which one? Does it say what?
Not yet. Here,
It's got to be reviewed. I was gonna
wonder
say
if it was that song though, which has already been fucking cleared to fucking play.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess I can hit end stream.
And we're back.
Hey, Caribou killed the stream. It appears to be. So, honestly, though, what it looks like to us, and as we were kind of saying, we're learning, we don't know what we can and can't get away with. We just know we want to be able to review music and talk about music and play music clips and videos for you guys as we can. And it looks like we just got smacked for playing copyrighted material live. Now, it was right after the Entheos video got through playing, so we're assuming that's the video that just got our PP slapped for. And our apologies for that one.
Cheers,
If
DK.
that one is the case. But the notification, the email, actually, I'll see if I can even bring it up here on my phone here.
Yeah, blame Prophet.
Is the gist of it is, well, they're pissed that we were playing copyrighted material while streaming live. Because that song, when I go into our back end analytics, which I immediately did because I was like, what's the strike for? What's the strike for? Right? Because we've actually never had a strike given to us on here. It says there's no copyright restrictions. And we're like, what? And so I think it is that they don't want us playing anything like that live. So I could be one of those, we got to do pre-recorded shows from here on out, or at least pre-recorded shows anytime we're doing music reviews. Mm-hmm. But we thought, since how we did already get through like 4 other songs previous to that, and maybe that's the key to the starting and stopping it, because we did kind of let the last half of that song play. So maybe the algorithm did have time to jump on it. Maybe we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. That's entirely possible.
Yeah, that's very true too. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, but anyways, we figured then we're talking about, well, we still want to do Colton's last one because this show isn't ending just because we hit a bump in the road. We just got to figure out a way around it. And we're like, do we get on Zoom and pre-record it and stuff like that? I was like, nah, let's just
we're in the moment. Stream. We've done all the other ones, so let's just get her done.
Yeah, have some fun with it.
All right, so my last band here, we'll get right to it so they don't shut us down again. Now I'm going to get tongue-tied and not be able to talk.
You know how I feel most of the time.
Yeah. My last band here is a band called Polaris. They are from Australia. They're metalcore. Their first album came out in 2017. They've released, let's see, I think this is their third? I can't remember if this is their third or fourth. But they have been nominated for some of the best rock albums in Australia, every album that they put out. These guys are a little bit harder than my first two, and this is what I've been listening to more often lately. So Polaris are known for blending elements of metalcore with progressive post-rock soundscapes, electronics, melodic hooks, intertwined with personal lyrics, often dealing with anxiety, depression, and loss. So, these guys they touch a lot on depression and anxiety and stuff like that, and mental health, but it's not in the way, like, it's not. It's funny to say, and this is what I was trying to explain this to my wife. It's funny to say because it's like heavy and it makes you fucking like hurt, but in the same breath, it's like comforting and it's You know, there's an article from Rolling Stones in Australia, and it says Rage and Fury. It was about Polaris, and one thing they said about them and their music, it says rage and fury can exist in the same space as peace and acceptance. Anxiety and fear can lead to liberation if viewed through a particular lens. It's a lens that the third Polaris album, Fatalism, explores in distinctive poignancy. So it's like, yeah, it's hard to explain, but that pretty well, like, I guess they do a great job of it there. The way that they make their music and the way that they have their lyrics and everything, it makes you feel like, you know, that they have felt everything they are singing about. It's not just, you know, jumping on the bandwagon to sing about, you know, being upset all the time or whatever. These guys have felt it. And to put that even more to a point, as I was looking back at some of the stuff for this album, I just found out that their guitarist actually passed away in June 19th of this last year, after a battle with mental health. So everything in their 3 albums up to this really, in that moment, became like that much more heavy, and like, you know, really, really drives it home that, you know, people feel this shit, and it's a great way for them to, I guess, express it in a way that lets other people know that, yeah, we're all here, we've been through it, we're going through it. Yeah. So my number 1 pick of this year, I'm dedicating to Ryan Sue, who is the guitarist for Polaris. You guys are going to see he absolutely shredded. He's another one of those musicians that is just gone too soon, ahead of his time for sure. So with no further ado, this is their off their newest album this year called Fatalism. It's a lot about so there's some of their songs on this album is about again the mental health and the struggles that we all have, but a lot of it also is about waking up. And this song Nightmare is about us in general, the world kind of waking up and you know, pulling up our britches, and we have to make a change to you know, see the change. So oh fuck, sure.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So that commercial fucked us up, but this intro again is like, was it your second one that had that just right heavy intro right off the bat?
Yeah,
that's how this one starts. It just, as soon as they start playing, you just start jumping.
I saw the signs, the signal fires, the birds are dropped out now. Rising tides and violent skies, all the world was standing still. Defenseless as already been dead. Living with our backs to the wall from the minute we wait.
So as you can hear, Ryan Sue was taken from us far too soon, because dude can fucking shred on the guitar. Could.
To sedate to louder. We're living in a nightmare, a pre-apocalyptic wasteland. Is there no one who can save us if we refuse to save ourselves? Our best intentions pave our path to hell.
That's the lyrics of this song are what really got me right there. The chorus. If we refuse to save ourselves, like no one's going to save us. If we refuse to save ourselves, our best intentions pave our path to hell. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
What does it mean to be a captain in the confines of your mind? What does it mean to be a hostage to the enemy inside? We bring every form. I guess we were nothing. This life we're up burning night. The planets collide as we all stop and stare to take it to notice. We're living in a nightmare, a pre-apocalyptic wasteland. Is there no one who can save us if we refuse to save ourselves? Our best intentions pave our path to hell. I see the shadows dance on the walls as voices echo in Entheos. It makes my stomach sink as I close my eyes and beg for a stay. Chaos kills the calm, fingers through my palms. I can't make it stop. Somebody take the chair and fucking wake me up. Stay a false and past, I'll never pay enough. And always understand. The more we struggle to cut ourselves loose, every cry brings a wonder shot. The streets run red as the forest wither and rot, declaring with the final breath. Eternal fear is the fate, worse than death.
So like pretty well every song on this fucking album hits just like this. Like it's all, yeah. It's just, I love it. It's great.
It's brutal. It's heavy. I
Yeah.
like that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I make it scream.
But no one's gonna save us if we won't fucking save ourselves. Our best intentions pave our lives to hell. Just like the rest of you.
Yes. So that lyric right at the end of the bridge there has become one of my favorites. If we won't fucking save ourselves, like no one's gonna save us if we won't fucking save ourselves.
I'm actually, I think Fluff put it really well about being on the fence with vocal scream bands like that.
Yeah.
So that is what we'd consider metalcore, where they like you got a guy that could just scream like fucking crazy, but they do a lot of almost Blink 182-ish kind of pop punky style singing vocals in there as well, right? And there's I to me that wasn't the thing, but like now I'm starting to see it and I dig it a little bit more. Bullet for My Valentine was another band where you couldn't. I don't think I've ever made it through an entire album.
Yeah.
And then saw them live this year, and I was like, okay, let's give these guys another chance here because it was good, and this is awesome stuff. I like it. And I think the guitar is the highlight in there for me personally.
Yeah.
They're just chunky riffs. Like it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely a great guitarist.
So I guess that is our best of 2023 list. Do you got any other kind of outliers that are honorable mentions, so to speak, where they're like, because I think we're both kind of on the same line at first, where it's like, I can't really think of anything. I guess I'll like this album and maybe this album, but then when I started looking, it was like, actually, there was a few more albums than I thought.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't have any more really from this year. It was just like I mentioned, the one that actually came out last year that I listened to at the beginning of this year the most, and that was the new Coheed and Cambria album. And if you haven't listened to Coheed, they're what do you call it? They're almost like theatrical concept, like they're a concept band. So they're currently, this album was the second part in a 5-part series. So that's kind of cool. I like bands that do that to an extent. I think sometimes they can get carried away, but it'll be interesting to see how the rest of them turn out.
Well, for me, something like a 5-part album kind of thing. It's like, to me, I don't want you to release this like one album a year and drag it out. Like as a fan, like I
Right.
want you to hurry up and do it. Like, say Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 both came out on the same day, which would have been amazing if I was old enough to buy records at that point in time. But then you look at, say, I want to say, was it System of a Down? Was it Mesmerized and Hypnotized? I think was written as a double album, but they were released separately. And I'm like, nah, man, I want the, if it's a double album, I want them both right now.
Yeah, I want how you meant it.
Yeah, I'll pay the price if need. And as a fan, like it's, I would sit there for 5 albums and release them, or at least release them quarterly or something like that, so that it's. You think of like the Lord of the Rings movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
How like that they had to spread that shit out, and instead, by a kid that gets into Lord of the Rings at the age of 6 or 7 because they like dwarves and hobbits and shit like that, is damn near a full-grown adult by the time part 3 comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and those two, they filmed all those at the same time, so it's like they could have put them out in a big trilogy.
Yeah, I'm impatient, I guess. We aim to keep it up, Donkey.
Cheers, DK.
We're not 100% on the frequency yet. I don't know. We'll do as many as we can out there. It might not always be a Sunday thing, just because Sundays don't always. It's not always my day. I guess you could say if I'm working out of town, this is typically a day where I spend all day getting ready to making sure I got all the shit to do. But we're gonna see, and then also like our formatting. That's the next thing we got to figure out. You notice we didn't get our fucking PP slapped on that one. So is it that we stopped the video enough times throughout that the algorithm couldn't grab a hold of it? Because on that last video that I played, I think I pretty much let the second half of it go.
I was watching the time on it too. That's honestly the only reason I stopped it the last 2 times that I did, is because I figured I should see if that's going to make a difference. You're muted, brother.
Yeah, it's all muted. I'm reading Fried Piper's comment here for guessing that's his album of the year. Throw that in the comment section below, please, man. I see. What was that other one that you're Angel Maker for a metalcore band?
Yeah,
that's another one that we can check out, maybe.
Yeah, I did make a little list here as I saw some of them coming up in chat, but I might have missed a few. So definitely throw them down in the comments for us. And then anything else you guys want us to check out or review or whatever. Yeah. We'll listen to it all. We'll check it all out.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because what's that? It looks like we could definitely probably do 4 songs in an hour if we want to try and stick it to an hour, or where we can get up some rapport on that, or drag the show out and do a little bit. Now, if we just figure out what the wrist slapping that we got is for sure, it'd be sweet.
Yeah. Blood
Blood
wine.
wine.
All right, we'll add them on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got a list of. I got us like eight or nine. No, maybe about 10. Yeah, I got 10 new ones now. On here,
I like that.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Keep the suggestions coming, everyone. If you like what we're doing here, forget hit the like button, hit subscribe, pass the word on. We want to have fun with this. It's like I said, it's not all going to be death metal and screaming and stuff. Well, as you even just saw, you got two different, very different styles of musical taste that you saw today.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down with the more extreme or the more heavy. Colton's down with a bit more melodic in there. So I think we're going to cover the gamut really well. Have fun doing it. I think that's the main part. We're going to have some fun.
Hell yeah.
You got anything else?
No, I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
All right, guys. We'll talk and decide when we'll be able to get the next one out. If that's next Sunday, awesome. If not, we'll let you know. But anyway, yeah, I guess we're out of here, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. We're I'm gonna go look at YouTube algorithms and see what we did wrong.
DK. Yeah, we gotta go figure it out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Rock on, everybody. Cheers.
It's just about I hit the